I am a master of destruction.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Princess Midnight, and today I'm back with another deck guide. Today we got the Mechanicum here for the first time on this channel, Calleb Decima. I've been messing around with him since Warlord came out, a new card from the Galaxy in Flames expansion. I was eager to try it out because it's pretty cool. It sounds pretty cool on paper, pretty random, but yeah, I just wanted to try it out, and he turned out to be pretty good. I've been playing him on and off before, but I didn't like the results too much. Now he's performing actually really well. I was able to hold with him into the top 50 last season. He is probably the best neutral warlord. Well, not the best neutral, but definitely one of the best for the Mechanicum. The Mechanicum is all about energy manipulation, I think, and buffs in terms of Mechadendrites. They are like special buff cards which get generated by a couple of other cards here. And Calleb is pretty good because his ability lets you disable the enemy warlord like permanently, and you get rewarded for playing like Mechanicum troops as mentioned. The energy refill thing, energy manipulation thing is kind of the theme for the Mechanicum, I suppose. And as mentioned, I've had pretty good results with him. He can play a lot of cards which other warlords can't play, and in some matchups you just can't win against this guy. So yeah, what's this deck about? That's the deck. It's all golden because I wanted to see how much it costs. It's really not very budget friendly, but this deck revolves around stalling in the early game. It's a late game deck, yeah. The thing is with Calleb, Mechanicum troops essentially cost 1 less when you play them, because it refills with energy, but that applies only to the late game. Early game we just want to kind of stall and control the board a little bit, not let our opponent get out of hand, and then in the late game we explode with a lot of Mechanicum troops, and we just swarm the board, buff them up with stuff like Technica and Death of Innocence, of course, and our game ender is Forge World, because this card is actually good at piping random. I'll explain later why. Alright, let's start off with the deck. As mentioned, I wanted to Calleb Decima, so first of all, a little misconception with Calleb Decima, in my opinion, is that you need to use your ability every turn for full value. You don't have to. You need to know your matchup, more or less, because in some matchups, yeah, you actually want to stun every turn. Not in the early turns, but definitely later. And these matchups include something like Knights, Mortarian, so he can't stun you in return. Things like Space Wolves, for example, you really want to use your ability every turn so they can't trigger pack, can't use their weapons, abilities, whatever. Because, yeah, you kind of need to know what you're doing here with Calleb. You want to stun Kharn. Against other warlords, it's not that crucial. And as mentioned, you don't have to use it every turn, just use it when it's really needed, so to say. So when you want to prevent the opponent from acting, like when you play a Secretary Exarch, don't play them just naked on turn 1, play them on 3 energy so that you can play the ability, yeah? That's how you also protect your troops. You always play on 1 maintenance in the early game, so to say. So you play the Dark Tech Adept on 4 energy so that you refill 1 energy, can use the ability of Decima once again, so this guy doesn't get face bashed by the enemy warlord, yeah? It's kind of a protective function in the early game for our troops. The rule of thumb is, in the early game you definitely want to use it to protect your troops from enemy warlord face bashes, and in the late game it's kind of matchup dependent. When you get into the late game you can essentially play 2 troops, let's say Lestowel and Sibilance on 7 energy. They cost 7, but you refill 1 energy every time you play one of these, and then you can use the ability. Yeah, so just try to find out it with trial and error, I guess. I won't make a list of when to use this ability and when not. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Let's get over the cards. I think you'll figure it out yourself if you try this out. The first one is Xi73, I guess is the name. So this is a troop you don't see at all, but here he is essentially 3. He's the 1 energy troop, 1 energy, 1, 2, and he refills 1 energy when it's played, so yeah, he costs 0 and you get a Mechanic in your hand. And usually dies to a face bash from the enemy warlord, and Calleb again prevents that by stunning the enemy warlord. So this is a very good turn 1 play. You get a 1-2 for free. You kind of ramp damage on the board so you can trade into something with this and your face, for example, on the next turn when your opponent plays something with 3 health. Pretty good card here, actually. And the Mechanic, yeah, they are random, but they often come in handy when you go into the later game. For example, when you get the Mechadendrite or whatever, you can buff your Lestowel with it. And since Calleb always refills 1 energy when you play a Mechanicum troop, and you decide to play on curve, so let's say you play the Dark Tech Adept on 3 energy, and this guy gave you a shield or a health Mechadendrite, you can give this some extra health or shield. So that's pretty good here. That's why I run this card. Next up is the Bend Supplies. This is just here for some gambling and a potential turn 1 play. It's not always good to stun the enemy warlord turn 1, like it usually doesn't do that much, so I just wanted to have it in 1 play, and that's the Bend Supplies. Why? because I want some of these high cost cards I have here. I have quite a lot here actually, and I just hope to get a little discount on some of these. 40 World Online Energy is really juicy. And yeah, that's all what this is for, basically a turn 1 play and a little gamble attached. Ambassador Megator, he has no real purpose here, like I don't want any fancy plays with my own stuff, he's just a good Mechanicum troop. Yeah, that's how you build the deck. Like in Calleb Decima you don't want to run any troops besides Mechanicum because the other troops don't trigger as passive. Yeah, and Megator is just a good Mechanicum troop for some tempo swings in the early game. That's why I included him. Command Bridge, this is another good turn 1 play because we're running belts and we want to get the belts on turn 2 of course, on 3 energy so we can play them. So if you got this turn 1, play Command Bridge and hope for a belt. Yeah, that's the idea here. Besides that, you obviously want to fish in the late game for key tactics like Death of Innocence so you can play it on curve hopefully, or Forge World when you're about to hit 10 energy. Next up is the Secretary Axiarch. Again, no real purpose here, this is just a good Mechanicum troop. We are running not that much infantry, but he's just becoming really good, really sticky. Decima again prevents the enemy Warlord from face bashing into him if you play him on 3 energy, so you refill 1 energy then can stun the enemy Warlord. He sticks around, he can become quite annoying if he gets buffed by Mechadendrites or Estel or something, so he's in here really good to energy drop for the Mechanicum. That's about it. Next up, the belt. As mentioned, we're running quite a high curve here. That's why I thought the belt is really good. As mentioned, our win condition is kind of Forge World, and that's why Steward's belt comes in really handy. We can play this turn 2 optimally, then turn 3 Death of Innocence, and then just go ahead and spam the board. That's the idea here. Next up is the Dark Tech Adept. It's just a good 3-drop, in my opinion better than the 4-energy Mechadendrite generator because it's relentless heal resolution, so you're always guaranteed to get something from this guy. What's good about the Mechadendrites, as I explained, because Calleb refills 1 energy every time you play the Mechanicum troop, and if you're playing on curve, you can play something, let's say Sibilance, or you follow up with Lester on 4 energy, and this guy generated Chaos Mechadendrite, you play Lester, refill 1 energy, and then you're able to play the Mechadendrite on this one and buff it immediately, so to say. Pretty good here. Aerotechnica. There's a little combo piece here. It gives Mark of Chaos to all of our Mechanical troops and we draw a card. When you want to play this is when you have at least 2 Mechanical troops on the board. Ideally, the combo here is Tagma Deformation, so the Ornative Sparge for Poor People or Forge World. Since Calleb refills energy every time a Mechanicum troop enters play, not when he plays it from hand, Tagma Deformation also refills a lot of energy, so if you're at least getting 3 troops onto the board, you refill 3 energy from that, and then you can have a Technica, for example. Forge World refills 4 energy, and you can also have a Technica after that. That's the idea here. Only 1 copy because it's very situational, and only good when you're already a bit ahead. Sibilance, just a good 3-drop, also helps us with the tempo early game a little bit. It can sometimes backfire when you bounce something like a Thrax card from the Light Lords, but most of the time they are quite the annoyance, and that's why they are here. Blaster I must have in every Mechanicum deck. This is just 4 energy 5-4, so pretty good stats for neutral, and all Mechanicum troops get +1/+1. Pretty good, not much to say, it buffs all your board. You can of course play them on curve, but usually I try to use them with caution because they are one of the most high value troops here in the deck. Next up is Warwicks. I wanted to have some flank in here, just to have it, yeah, for the purpose of having it. There are some better options, but the thing with Warwicks is it has Bloodthirst, and we're running Death of Innocence and Technica. So if you play Warwicks and you get something like Marcus Slaanesh, so Terror and +1 attack, he becomes pretty good. It's almost a Finvisible Evolve for energy then, almost. But yeah, it's a bit random. Nonetheless, I really like them here. Only 1 copy because as mentioned, he's not always that good. Death of Innocence, kind of the bread and butter of this deck, only 1 copy because you really don't want to have 2 of these in your starting hand. Yeah, it's a really little tempo play, sometimes risky, it's sometimes difficult to set up, but once you set this up safely, everything you play just automatically gets buffed, and usually from there on you get out of control, and it's getting pretty cool, yeah. We're playing only Mechanicum troops. All of our card generators are also just Mechanicum troops, so this will always have value. Even these guys can become 3/2s if they get a Mark of Kharn and so on, or poisonous 1 too. It has a lot of value, really good here, wins you games. Forge Complex. This is actually not that good anymore because we already have Death of Innocence, but one thing about this card is that it really helps you in long games. Yeah, we're not always playing against aggro, but in long games you tend to run out of cards pretty soon, because as soon as you set up your shit, like you played, let's say, optimally Bennett Supplies, Bell, Death of Innocence, then you start spamming all your low-cost troops and we have no draw, no refill, And at some point, if you're playing a control matchup, your opponent will keep clearing all your shit. And here's where Forge Complex comes into play. I usually don't like to play this on curve, but when you're about to run out of cards and set this up, it usually serves its purpose, yeah. They don't get any discount on the troops or anything, that's why it's not that great and it's random as fuck. But nonetheless, it's just good on Decima because you get to play something in refill energy. Yeah, that's the whole idea. So yeah, not the best choice. You don't really need this card. I still like it because, as mentioned, in the long games it really helps you, but never play this on curve. You need to temporarily game. Next up is this Skitaria Protector. This is my anti-stealth tech of choice because it's a Mechanicum troop. I run 2 because it only stealths 1 enemy, and it's not a dead card in certain matchups because when you don't need the anti-stealth, it's still a 4-fire front line with the potential of getting buffed and stuff like that in a sense. So, pretty good here. Forge Master, really good Mechanicum troop, one of the best. He was recently in the shop, so if you didn't pick him up, too bad, but this is a really good one. He has the really good stats for neutral, 6/6 with shield, and I'll just briefly explain how to use him. You obviously play him on like 6 energy, maybe buff him with a bit of Android, and next turn you have to decide if he sticks. If you have something to play, then play it and attack with this guy, like don't think about it. If you have a really good trade, let's say your opponent plays something like Jurgen, kill the Jurgen with that and pop the shield or something. Use it to attack. You don't always have to use the ability. With Calleb Decima, his ability also essentially costs 4 energy because it refills 1 energy after using it, and it's random. But most of the time you will get something good. Most of the time you will get a troop which is more worth than 5 energy. You usually won't play this crap, but since it's coming from this card, it's usually going to be pretty good when you do it. You skip an action, but this is simply where you have to decide. Do you want to take a trade? Do you want to face bash? Do you want to go aggressive? Or do you want to build more value on the board? If you have 5 spare energy, if you don't have anything to play from your hand, just use the ability. In other cases, if you have a good trade, if you want to push for damage, if you want to push for lethal, just attack with it. That's the whole idea with this card. Attack with information. So as mentioned, this is honest barge for poor people. It's actually pretty shit. I don't think you can run it anywhere except Decima. It's only good in Decima because it refills your energy after you play it. So if your opponent has a full board or at least 5 troops, then this spawns 6 Mechanicum units and you refill the energy. You get 6 energy again. You can play Herotechnica, you can play something else. It's up to you. This is basically, this can become free. That's why it's in the stack. The results from this are usually not that great. But this into Herotechnica combo is usually pretty good. What you can also play is this into dev sets if your opponent has at least 4 troops on the board, so then it refills 5 energy, and then you can immediately play the dev sets, but I'm not running dev sets here because I hate that card. Next up is Spirit of Mars. This is also not that great. It kind of serves the same purpose as Forge Complex. You only want to use it when you're running out of cards. This is also only playable in Decima in my opinion because you draw only cards for 7 energy. That's a huge investment and you can't always take it. But the good thing about it is you usually have a really strong turn after you played this card. Let's say you drew Crowgill's left for 6 energy, you drew Lester All, and a bad case scenario, this one. This one costs 0, this is what just refill 1 energy, just like the Secretary Axiarchs. Then you play this one for 2 energy, then you play Crowgill's left. The idea is here you get a really good play, but you sacrifice the turn before. So only use it when you're really out of cards, never play it on curve unless you can afford it when your opponent's board is empty and all that. But usually it is like Forge Complex, use it with caution. Sometimes it is kind of a dead card, but it helped me out a lot. As mentioned, we tend to vomit our hand pretty quickly after we set everything up. You really don't need this card just like Forge Complex, but it saved me a lot of times, that's why I'm keeping it around for now. Odysseus Malevolus, very situational card, but it's a Mechanicum troop, and I really like to run him in decks which don't have hard removal, so he's in here, yeah. Not much to say here, his stats are not that great, but he can swing in pretty nicely. Doombringer, I wanted some AoE, and Doombringer is the card of choice here. As mentioned, I didn't want any dev sets, and Doombringer is just a good Mechanicum troop, that's why he's in here. Coriel Zeth, one of the best Mechanicum troops, really strong. And once it hits the board and you are in a troop matchup, it is a really good value. It trades at least 2 for 1. Really like this card. Forge Worlds. So, this is more or less a win condition. When you play this up to Death of Innocence, you refill 4 energy, and all the stuff you play gets buffed. So, this is random as fuck. On paper, yeah, so this is 4 Mechanicum vehicles that cost 6 or less. But the odds of getting more than 10 energy value out of it are pretty high, and you also refill for energy, keep that in mind, that's why it's here. Because, let's take a look at the Mechanicum vehicles. So, on 1 energy we got 1 vehicle, only the Servo Automata, yeah, 1 vehicle here, the other cards are just with vehicle in the text. On 2 energy we got this and this, 2 vehicles for 2 energy, yeah. And these are again just cards with vehicle in the text. On 3 energy, we got 2 vehicles again, which are actually not that bad. Both are usable at least. So 2 vehicles here as well. On 4 energy, 2 vehicles again. Vorex, pretty good. Castellax also not that bad. Then on 5 energy, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vehicles on 5 energy, yeah? So we had 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 1 here. And on 5 energy, already 5 vehicles. And on 6 energy, we got 3 vehicles. So in total, we got 8 vehicles in this 5 and 6 energy spot. When you get like 4 of these, it's already 20 energy value theoretically. The odds of getting something good from here are just very good. And keep in mind again that you're refilling 4 energy when you play this card. So this feels a little bit like desperate defense. It is usually really hard to deal with for your opponent. And as mentioned, this card turned out to be really good and won me a lot of games, especially when you can follow it up with a Technica or get Death of Innocence equipped. Alright, so that's the deck. It's a bit hard to explain how to play it. I tried to do it with Calleb, but it's very matchup dependent. He does really well though against all the current meta picks like Raven Guard and even Knights, especially Knights. It's auto win against Knights basically. And as mentioned, against Raven Guard he does fairly well, against Space Wolves. Where he lacks is actual fair matchups against other mid-range decks which rely on troops because the Mechanicum troops are simply not as great as Legion troops. In these matchups you have to rely on Death of Innocence basically. So yeah, as usual, if you don't agree with me on some of my card choices, or if you're missing some of these cards, I got some alternatives for you. It's not too many this time because I don't think there's that much worth running here. Let's say every Mechanicum troop is worth running in Decima. Yeah, almost every cheap Mechanicum troop, you can try that, but I'll mention some specifically here. First of all, we got P Alpha. It's one of the best neutral heals and it's Mechanicum, so it kind of fits the theme. You can run it here, of course, for some defensive options. We got a stack 3-drop, so I kind of skipped it. But nonetheless, it's always a good inclusion. You also see it in other decks a lot of the time. One of the best neutral heals as mentioned, so not a mistake to run it here. Next up, Sigma Phi for some utility. Usually I tend to say, when you want some utility, take the cheapest version of it. So in this case, it would be Sabotage. But here it's attached to Mechanicum Troop. That's why I would play Sigma Phi. If you want some gems in this deck, take this one. Next up, Ida Kappa. Once again, pretty good Mechanicum troop. You will have a board most of the time, so it won't stun itself, and if you pair it with P-Alphas, you can like bait your opponent into safety. But yeah, I have Forge Master here. It's kind of overshadowed by Forge Master, and I still like it as it is with the low curve, and I think my high curve is good as it is. You can still run it, it's not bad, but I skipped it here because I simply don't need it at this point. Then Seek and Destroy, this would be a simple tool for some early control. He kind of struggles, it would help Decima not being overrun early game, which is kind of his weakness. Consider running it if you want some extra removal. Then we got Death Sets. As I mentioned, this is a pretty cool combo if you play Tag Meta Formation and then refill at least 5 energy and then you play Death Sets. It's especially good against something like Cambadias, but I hate this card. It's random as fuck, it never delivers, it either over-delivers or underperforms. I really don't like it. It's kind of grotesque to not run it, that's why I skipped it. So yeah, but as mentioned, if you want some AoE, consider Death Sets. It's a pretty cool combo with Tag Meta Formation. And at last but not least, I got Crucial Choice. It's always good in neutrals, it's random, and yeah, I didn't really want more Temple Loss than I already have. And I'll finish as kind of Forge World, but nonetheless, if you want to gamble a bit, and if you want to have an alternative win condition in the form of a nuke, like, I don't know, Pilot Emperor or something like that, then go for it. So yeah, that's the deck, some alternative cards. I would say we'll jump into some gameplay. I'm currently somewhere in the middle of the top 50. Oh no, I'm in the top half already, rank 15. And yeah, let's just go ahead after the first game. Callidus Assassin, okay. Fine. I'm gonna keep the sibilance just because I can play it early game from these cards. But usually you want to mulligan for the belts and simply the early stuff. And Death of Innocence, I tend to keep Death of Innocence in the starting hand as well. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I don't know what he's playing, but that's probably just high initiative Lucretia as usual. We'll see.
I am a master of destruction.
I am faceless.
Hey, Soul. Yeah, that's still a road Cilia as expected. I'm gonna stun it and call the... I could buff this probably, but I'm probably not gonna do it. Because, yeah, it's simply not worth it.
I am faceless.
It becomes Assassin again, fine. So what I'm gonna do here is play the Dark Tech Adept, give him a Mechadendroid, so for some extra health, and call it a day. Now he can't kill it, and we will just see what happens. Yeah, here's Lucretia, so Lucretia and nothing else. Oh, crap. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fine. So, let's see. Here are the belts, but I can't really afford them. I'm gonna be greedy here. I'm gonna play Sibilance, refill 1 energy, Kharn attack, Aerotechnica. Alright, not that great, but at least I can kill off that and that. Let's see how it goes. I need some infantry now to play. Yeah, that's Jesus, come on. Don't do me like that. Okay, that's a free trade for him. Okay. Interesting. Doesn't do it. So let's supplies first. Of course. Warrior Master pretty good. Let's belt. Let's face trade, and I'm gonna keep this around. I want something on the board to trade. And next time we can Forge Master buff him up. Pretty good. Like anything he plays, I can bounce that. Sign Juden. Alright. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. As mentioned, yeah, Mechanicum doesn't do it, so I'm gonna play the Forge Master. Buff him up once. Kharn is not that great. I would really like some health more. And kill that. So next time we can either... I'm probably gonna use him to attack here because he has Kharn. Next time I'm probably gonna play Corridor's Death with another buff. Don't hit it! Ah, damn it. Okay. I can also Melgator this. Or I play Doombringer. Yeah, I actually like this more. Let's play Doombringer, because this clears the board. Give this some extra health. I like that. And do this. This way we clear everything he has. He has the barge into a Doombringer, but holy fuck, come on, man. That's bullshit. That's just fucking nasty, I'm not gonna lie. Holy shit, man. Okay, so I'm gonna bounce this for sure. Then we get 8 more energy. Less toll, definitely. This way I can keep my stuff around here at least. Play you. And this. Oh my fucking god, I'm an idiot. Oh, that was a little mistake here. This way I lose a troop. Yeah, that was pretty bad for me. But yeah. Yeah, dude, that was an oopsie. That was an oopsie. But let's hope that doesn't cost us the game. Yeah, I should have just waited a bit with my ability. I forgot about the Ogren. Damn it. There's another one. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, at this point, I'm pretty sure we're winning anyway. Here's Segment Affirmation, 1 turn late. Let's see, we got 16, 18. Yeah, that's enough. So let's attack it for the win. The oopsie didn't matter at all. Alright! First game against High Initiative Lucretia goes to us. Kharn. Okay. That's one of those warlords which you want to stun almost every turn. Unfortunately, I'm going second, but I'm gonna keep... I have belts already. I don't have time to set up what's it called? Death of Innocence. I'm not gonna fish for it. I'm just gonna stun him the first turn. And I'm gonna keep the rest, I think. Yeah. Alright, so I'm not gonna stun him for 1 turn when I play the belts. But that had everything else. I'm gonna keep him stunned. Okay, that's fine. That's pointless, I don't care about that. So, let's just stun him. Watch Complex is not a good card to have right now. Sweeping Advance. Okay. That's something, I suppose. So, let's just play the belts here. I got Melgator for Grand Veterans or Wraith here. Here are the Grand Veterans, it's fine. Escape vent, fuck. Okay, still fine. Let's play double Tech Adept. Refill 1 energy and stun him. Yeah, kinda sucks, but he plays so few cards, still runs shit like Escape Vent, but it is as it is, man. Place this to place, I'm fine with that. So, let's play Less Tell. Let's buff you. Stun him again. And face. Alright, he probably runs Pyelthos. But yeah, he still needs to draw him. He doesn't want any draw. He just hopes for top decks, so whatever. This is looking pretty good here. So let's play the Exiarch. Let's play Sibilance. Let's buff this one twice. Stun him again. And face. Alright. Looking grim for Kharn. I mean, he can unstun him, but what's he gonna do afterwards?
It takes more than that to kill me.
See you, mate. It was fun. Constantin Valdor. Okay. Problem here is... Oh, it is Constantin Valdor. Problem here is... I can't handle the troops really good.
I am a master of destruction.
But we will see.
There is no enemy beyond the Emperor's wrath.
Going second was a success, but let's play this one for free. And command bridge into belt.
I will show you exemplary efficiency.
I will unmake you.
Some banter. Okay, that's good. That he draws instead of attacking into this, but yeah, I can stun him permanently anyway. So let's play another one of these. Because I'm the utility Mechadendrite. It's belt. And less attack with this one. As mentioned, I don't want him to Reckoning. I mean, he will still kill one, but whatever. Doesn't matter that much. Moving side into these guys. Okay. So, what are we doing here? I'm just gonna play the Exiarch, give him a shield, and stun Valdor. Problem is he can beat me down very effectively with the Custodius troops. It's only this turn, right? The Morito's Wrath. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So, let's play Vorax. Let's play another Exiarch. Done. Attack. And shield on the Exiarch again. Okay. Fine. And this one goes face, yeah, as expected. Doesn't want to miss 5 damage. I'm getting a pretty good trade here with my Exiarchs. This one's gonna die to a bike again. But yeah, let's see. I hope he plays Telemons, that would be cool. Yeah, not doing anything else. Protector is pretty good. Let's stun him again. Yeah, and let's give one of the secretaries. Don't like that much. Let's give him it though. And this one I'm gonna keep around. So 2 turns up to Fort World. Here's the Hunting Eagle. Unfortunate. Mercator. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna attack with these. Bounce the Mercator to refresh the Survivor. Play another one. Yeah. I'm not playing this one for Tempo because I fucking smell a Telemon, I swear. He plays so reserved. There must be a Telemon coming. At some point. It's not a Telemon. Okay, trading with the bikes again. Alright, time for the Fourth World. Not that great. But not too bad either. Come on, play a Telemon, please. This is also one of those games where I would really like to see my not Fourth World, but what it's called. Spirit of Mars, or the other shit. What's it called? Jesus Christ. Okay. Last Hell seems good. Forge Complex, that's what I meant. Yeah, we got some expensive stuff here. Reduced costs, it's not too shabby. So let's see what he does. I really want to keep him stunned. Yeah, do another Custodes. Oh, Christ. That's annoying. This is gonna attack him. So yeah, this dice, basically... Oh, it's attacking this. Interesting. So let's play Doombringer. No, let's tell. Stun him again. Places the place. He has no Hunting Eagles. These were the main threats. If you play the Telemon, I just get rid of it with Earthsea as mentioned. That's Sultan. Okay. I need to kill it, unfortunately. I'm afraid. I would really like to ignore it, but I fear I can't. Because it can just act again all the time. Well, we're playing Coriel's Death anyway, right? Don't want to play this, I still want to keep him stunned. The rest of that. Gonna have to trade here, unfortunately. And attack with Last Tell, because I don't think he used both bikes, both Herculanus, both Hunting Eagles. I think he's out of flankers.
An impressive feat.
Yeah, we got him, okay. Good game as usual. Good game as usual, my friend. Oh, that's Sevatar. Okay, I'm gonna need Secretary Protector for check.
I am a master.
Or
of
for
destruction.
Wrecking Claws.
Death to the false emperor. Ha!
Okay, let's abandon supplies first. No need to stun him from the get-go here. Nah, success. That's not a game where we would need this. Alright, let's Secretary Exarch and stun him. So he can't trade into it. Okay. Forge Master. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to play the Forge Complex here. So there's nothing else to play. Death of Innocence would have been better, but... yeah. Here's check. Alright. Alpha Zeta doesn't do anything. So let's bounce you. Nothing else to bounce here for him. Play the Sibilance and stun him. Sibilance will hopefully bounce on the Shack. Otherwise I would try to trade him with the Scutari Protector. Next turn. Hopefully he plays the Claw again. No, that's not it. That's actually fine. So let's play you. I really don't want to bounce that, but you know what? I'm gonna do this so he doesn't get value from it. Fill 1 energy. This way he can't play it instantly. And Night Type's gone. Okay. Now we only need these for the Wrecking Claws. Shack being one of the major threats is gone. Okay, here's the Wrecking Claw. Anything else? Yeah, I don't really care about that. Lum the Zeta. It's not helpful. So let's play you. Let's buff you up. I think Poisonous is good. Great. Done. And not gonna do anything with that one. Okay. What's that? Holy shit. And he's not doing anything with that. Okay. You know, I'm gonna play the Forge Master here. Let's see if I can get a Terra Mark or something. Perfect. Done. Great here for free. Close your own medicine, huh? So, worst thing that can happen is that he specters this, I think. Specters the front line, okay. Not much difference, to be honest. And then he's going face. Okay. Well, the prototype. So this is going here, no question. This is going here. And then I'm gonna probably play the Defiler prototype from this guy. And it's done. This one's just a major threat, I think. He's gonna try to finish me up with Raven, I guess. That's his plan. Just gonna like Nostromo now. It's the only thing that saves him, I think. Like a good place Nostromo. Forge Warlord actually been pretty good here. Despite the bad matchup for it to play. Or to be played. On the shadows. Holy fuck, man, that's nasty as shit. Okay. Alpha Zeta again. They don't have frontline by default, I don't like that. So, what I'm gonna do... I'm obviously have to trade here, unfortunately. And then... I'm just gonna swarm the board, do I? Or I'm gonna play this one, I think. Yeah, let's play on curve more or less. You here. And stun. Not gonna play the supplies. I wanna keep him stunned at all costs now. Okay, use it to trade, it's fine. And this one gets stunned. Nah, okay. Oopsie Malavolus. So yeah, I can't clear that. Anti-stun would be great here. I don't even know why he's playing that, but it sure helps him out here. Okay, let's just spam the board. Now I want the Alpha Zetas up. And let's play Sibilance. No, do I want Sibilance? Yeah, fine. And stun him again. So if he plays Raven, he's still one off. He can theoretically attack that. Sounds sad. That's why I was kind of hesitant to play it, but kind of a distraction, so to say. Because I can't quite finish him off yet. Vakaran. Okay. He didn't see it. Good for me, I guess. Zagreus Kane, cool. Yeah, I have Visive Cleave. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use here the abilities twice. That's just safe, I guess. And attack with Sibilance. Okay, I think I got him now. I think it was still the best play to trade into the Sibilance. But whatever. Okay. We got him.
Time to pay for my sins.
Oof. Interesting game. And I think this should be enough for this video. That was a bit of a mess. I think I did like 50-50 today, as I believe, yeah, against Luther. It's just terrible RNG, I'm not gonna include that. And yeah, I hope you still enjoyed the matches. This was it for today. Our boy Calleb Decima. Unfortunately, we didn't face any Knights or Space Wolves. This was where he actually shines. But yeah, didn't happen, unfortunately. Anyway, as mentioned, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you around the next one. Until then, you can check out the channel. There's a lot of other stuff, tech guides, community requests. Also, feel free to leave a suggestion for the next video in the comments below. Okay, I babbled too much again for the outro. As mentioned, subscribe, leave a like, all that shit. See you around the next video. Minute out.